What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be talking about specifically lightsaber versus lightsaber combat. So Luke up against Darth Vader. They are the only two heroes currently that have lightsabers. So going on to Luke's basic moves, we have the simple attack, which is just pressing RT, right trigger, or R2 if you're on PlayStation, which just does, I think, 10 damage per hit. You can also use force push, which is his second ability, pressing LB. You can do it whilst jumping or just straight up. RB with force dash. You can use it defensively, honestly, as well as offensively. It doesn't deal too much damage, but a heavy attack there does, dealing around 20 damage. There's Darth Vader's basic attack. Lightsaber throw dealing 20 damage, and his force choke dealing 10 damage there as well, with his heavy attack dealing, I think, 20 to 30 damage, depending on how many hits you get. So one of the first tips is to lock onto your opponent, making sure that you're able to track their movements even when they're jumping around a lot. And you can do this simply by just holding down the right stick. So guys, going into the actual combat and talking about the mechanics of the game and stuff like that, we have the blocking system in this game, which makes a huge impact on all of the fights between Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker. So at first I didn't really know what to do with the blocking system and how it worked and stuff like that, whether you could just block all attacks and clash lightsabers. Well, the way it works is you can block an attack and then quickly do a counter move. So the basic thing that you want to be starting off with doing, just to get a hold of this new gameplay and how you run the system in this game of the lightsaber combat, you just want to try doing it basic, holding down LT until your opponent attacks, and then hit him, and then go out of block, and keep repeating that, and it will work quite well. So if you can imagine you and your opponent come up against each other, the first thing that you want to do is make sure you go on the defensive, wait for them to strike and counter-attack. But if you're both holding down LT and both defending, a tip is to tap LT to go out of that defensive, wait for them to open up, or at least by doing that, you'll buy yourself a little bit of time because it will refresh that timer up a little bit so that you don't have to open up first. Just another tip before we go on to how to counter blocking is with Luke Skywalker, you can use force dash if you're near the bottom of your blocking bar. So therefore, you can quickly get out of a rough situation if you know you're about to get absolutely wrecked. Just a quick recap though, make sure that you are not the one who has to open up. Whether that means that you have to try and delay by tapping LT to make sure that your defensive bar doesn't run down first. Whatever you need to do, you need to try and not open yourself up first. So now we're going to go to countering the blocking system. So there are certain moves which you can use which enable you to get people out of their block. So if someone is playing really defensive against you and you know they're not going to open up anytime soon, use your heavy attack and it will stun them for a second and it will give you a free hit on them. So the only other move that can break a block is Darth Vader's lightsaber throw. So if you hit this on target, it can sometimes break you out of a block and therefore they'll be stunned for a second so you can get a free hit on them. So guys, just in case you wanted to know how to activate the clash, is basically you both have to press your heavy attack at the same time, and then you enter the clash, you have to spam RT, and whoever's got the better trigger finger ends up on top, and you have a free hit at them basically after. Up against soldiers, Luke is definitely the better of the two. However, fighting between the two, Luke and Vader, having used Vader, and Vader is the better of the two. I think simply because his ability to just slightly edging it, especially with that lightsaber throw which deals 20 damage. You have to think, guys, Luke does have a force dash which can get him out of some awkward situations occasionally, but that lightsaber throw is an extra stun ability if you're in block, or if you're not in block, it's an extra ability that can deal 20 damage compared to a force dash, which most of the time cannot even connect, and we're talking no damage. So guys, that is the tutorial of how to use lightsabers and some of the abilities effectively in Star Wars Battlefront. If we can hit 5 likes, that'd be awesome. Also, I might be making a video soon showing these guys up against normal Rebel soldiers or Empire soldiers and showing how they perform and how to use them effectively when doing normal battles up against normal soldiers. So subscribe if you're new around here, guys. I'll see you on the next Mbirchy episode. Thanks for watching.